In this video, you are about to learn how you can do a fantastic looking website in 2016. And you can see that by the end, you will have a great looking website similar to the one that you can see right in front of you. And this website is related to cooking, but it can be about anything that you desire, any kind of topic which you want to share with people on the internet. You can use the same design and pretty much adjust your preferences. So I'm going to explain how you can add this section over here, which has a call to action and also a button which allows you to either promote your best tutorial, something which you want people to easily find in your website. It can be a service, it can be a product which you want to share with people, and once someone clicks on this button, you can see that they are taken to that service that you have in your website, or that page that you have in your website, where you can share the content with that person. And in this first case, you can see that this website is working as a blog. So you can see that you have the most recent post appearing in the very top with a nice looking image, which basically makes people want to click on this topic and read more about it. Then you have the sidebar with several options. You have some sharing buttons, which allows people to more easily share your content through the web. Also a small section where you talk a little about yourself, and also the recent posts that you have in your website. Right below, I once again added some sharing buttons which allows people to go to your Facebook page, your Twitter page related to your website. And this is the first design which you can choose for your website. But I'm also going to share with you another design which I find very good looking, very modern for nowadays. You can see that you can also use this design if you prefer, and this is especially good if you have a lot of high quality images which you want to share with people. You can see that you have over here, this is basically the blog section, but in this case people can see a great looking image just like this, and then below you have the About Me section where I talk a little about myself. So when someone goes over here, they can click on this option and they can go to my post where they can read my content. So I'm going to explain how you can do that. Also inside of my post, you can see that I have some sharing options, once again allowing people to share this content on the web. And below, people can basically go to relevant posts. In this case, this is a pasta recipe. So below you can see that I have over here another pasta recipe, so people can easily find related content using this option. And also it's important to notice that this is an adjustable, as you can see, this is an adjustable design for a website. This allows people to easily see it on mobiles, which is really important for you to consider nowadays, because a lot of people actually go to websites using mobiles. And over here you can see that you have several options on the menu. People can go to the pasta option, and they can see every single post that I have related to pasta. This is a way for you to organize your website by topics if you want. Also, you have the contact page, which allows people to easily contact you through email. As you can see, someone can go over here, write the message which they want to send to you, and just press this send button, and you will receive it to your email inbox. And then you have your About page, and this is the page where you talk a little about yourself. And I used a really famous platform called WordPress. This is the back office of WordPress, and it's through these options which you will be able to build the website which I just showed to you previously. So this is one of the most popular platforms out there because it's really simple for you to use, and it allows you to quickly build a great looking website just like the one that I showed to you. So that's exactly what I'm going to explain in this video. So stay there and let's get started. Hey there, this is John Alexa from Prosaic Tutorials, where I talk about internet marketing secrets. And in this video, I want to start 2016 by doing a video where I talk about how you can do a modern looking WordPress website. So that's exactly what I'm going to explain throughout this video tutorial. And when it comes to having a website on the internet, there are two things that you must have and you really cannot escape from them. The first one is having a web host provider. In my case, I like to use HostGator, as you can see right in front of your screen. HostGator is a web host provider, and what exactly does a web host provider do? Well, they offer a service in the first place, and the service which they offer is for you to have a website on the internet. You will later on create files, you will add images to your website, you will have videos, written content, and all of that is information or files that you will have in your website. And you must have a computer where all of those files will be stored. In this case, that's exactly what a web host provider does. They will save all of the information belonging to your website in one of their computers, or you could also call them servers. And at the same time, and the most important part, they're responsible of putting your website on the internet so other people can have access to it. So I use HostGator for this. They have a good customer support. They have reliable servers. By this I mean there are very few times that they actually have their servers down, and in return your websites are down. And that's really one thing that is really important when you have a website. You want your website to be 24/7 on the internet throughout every single day of the year. So that's really important, and they have really reliable servers when it comes to that. And when it comes to their pricing, it's pretty good. As you can see below, it's $4.86 per month, so it's really cheap. And also, the other thing that you must have is a domain name. This is nothing more than the name for a website. For example, protutorials.org, youtube.com, or google.com. Those are all examples of domain name. And another thing that once you create an account with HostGator, you actually get your first domain name completely free, so you don't need to worry about that. And later on in this video, I'm going to give you some tips so you can choose a really good domain name for a website. So once you go to HostGator, the thing that you want to do in HostGator website, you want to click on this button so you can get an account with them. You can see that below you have three different plannings that you can choose from. You have the hatching plan, the baby plan, and also the business plan. And as you can see, the first plan is the cheapest one, is the hatching plan, and it pretty much offers the same features as the baby plan. Now the catch over here is if you actually decide to use the first plan over here, you can only have one website using this plan. So I recommend for you to actually use the one in the middle, the baby plan, because with the baby plan, if later on you want to do another website, then you can do another website without you actually needing to worry about that. Because with this baby plan, you can have any number of websites that you desire with your account. Then you have the business plan, which comes with some extra features. You might want to check the extra features which come with the business plan. But for starters, I consider the baby plan pretty good for you to start out. So let's click on this button. Okay, so the first thing that you need to choose is a domain name for your website. When it comes to nowadays, I recommend for you to choose a brand name for your website, and it doesn't exactly need to be something with a specific meaning or something that relates to the product or to the content which later on you will offer in your website. For example, good examples are, for example, Nike, Reebok. I mean, those names really don't have any kind of meaning. The meaning they have is a lot to do with the promotion that they do, and after a lot of promotion, people start relating those brands with a specific product. So you might want to go with that kind of name for your website if you like it. Or you might do as I did for Protutorials. Protutorials, when you look at the name, you can get a basic idea of what exactly my website talks about. The other thing that I don't recommend for you to do when it comes to domain names is do something like this. How to make simply like this. The reason I don't recommend for you to do this is, first, the name doesn't really look clean. You shouldn't ever have any dashes in between your domain name. It just doesn't look very professional. The other thing is, it's a huge name, and it's far better for you to have a short and clean name, because always remember, it's people who go to your website, and if you have a short and clean name, it will be easier for them to remember the brand name of your website. So that's really crucial. And the other thing is, in the past, people actually many times put search phrases on their domain name because it used to give them better rankings on the search engines, as in Google and so on, so they would get more traffic from those places. But nowadays it's not really relevant, and also the reason you should never put a search phrase in your domain name is because it doesn't look professional. It actually looks awful, as you can see. So those are the few tips I want to give you. So I'm just going to choose Pro Tutorials, and then you need to actually choose extension for your domain name. You can choose a .com if you later on have intentions of promoting products. It's usually mostly used for commercial websites, and also it's one of the most common extensions on the internet, so it's easier for people to remember. Or you can use a .org, which is also very common, and it's commonly used for websites that are from non-profit organizations, or provide free content or something along those lines. So I'm just going to use the .com as an example, and now we'll see if it's actually available. So it may take just a while for them to see that. And below, you want to see if this is the right package that you want to use. In this case, it's the baby plan. Also, you want to see the billing cycle. In this case, it's 36 months. So if you want to use it for 2 years, actually, the more time you have to your account, the cheaper it will be for you to each month to pay. As you can see, if you are starting out, probably just 1 year is pretty much all you need. Then you need to select a username and also a security PIN, just a number. This will help you verify your account ownership when contacting the customer support. So add over here a PIN number. Also, it's important for you to actually this already exists. Or not. No, actually I cannot have capital letters. So the security PIN is actually this information. You should write it down in some place so you won't forget. Then you just need to put your billing information over here. Just fill these blank spaces with the required information. Below, you can see that you have some additional services which you can use for your account. And I'm going to talk about the ones that I actually recommend. I recommend the first one, and it's basically the only one I recommend over here, because this allows you to secure and also accelerate your website. It actually protects your website from fraud and malware, and also speeds up the performance of your website, so people go to your website and they will be able to see your website more quickly. So that's really something that I recommend. The ones below, I really don't recommend. Even this one below, Site Backup, because the good thing about WordPress is that you can later on install a plugin, or you could also call it a small application that you can install into your website, which will allow you to automatically do the backups for your website. So you really don't need to worry about this, and also you take actually a good sum from the total pricing of your account. When it comes to coupons, you can see that you have a coupon on the screen, and it's OnePennyPST. This is the coupon that I'm offering. This allows you to have your first month just for $1, and it's really fantastic. So just see below if everything is right. And also, you may want to check over here these pages, the terms of service, cancellation policy, and so on. So just click on this link so you can read this information. Once you have that done, just check this box and press this button. Check now. Now let's go to the other side and check the cPanel so we can start building our website. Okay, so once you grabbed your account information from your email inbox, you want to log in to your HostGator account. And this is the first page that you will see, and this is what we call the cPanel. And I know that initially it might seem a bit confusing seeing all of these small icons, which are, each one of them are different options which you can use, but you will see that later on you probably will only need to use about 3 or 4 of these options on a daily basis. And most of them I will actually explain how you can use them in this video. The first thing that you want to do every time that you create a new website is simply create a proper email address for that new website, because you certainly don't want to use Outlook or use Gmail for your website, because that just doesn't seem very professional using one of those email addresses for your website. So for you to create a new email address for your website, you want to go to this section which is called Mail, and you want to click on this small icon which says Email Accounts. Then you are redirected to this page. What you want to do is simply go to this tab over here. You select it and you want to select your website. In this case it's Prosatorials, and then you want to choose a name for your email address. Let's say jordan@prosatorials.xyz. And for password, you can actually click on this small button that says Password Generator, and this automatically creates a password for you. And these passwords are quite good, but it's always important for you to actually write this down in a sheet of paper or a notebook or something so you can more easily remember it. So use password and then just paste it over here. Below you can see mailbox quota, and you want to choose, I actually commonly choose a limited, because when it comes to this kind of email accounts, I commonly receive a lot of spam, and it quickly just fills the limited space that I have over here. So I just like to keep it limited. And now just press create account. And once you go below, you can see that now I have a new email account for my website. So I'm just going to access webmail just by clicking on this button, and I'm redirected to another page. And over here you can see that you have 3 different options which you can choose from. I commonly like to use the one in the middle, round cube, but it doesn't really matter the one that you decide to use, because they're pretty similar, and the only thing that really changes is their interface. Okay, so this is your email inbox for your website. Now the thing that you want to do is go once again to your cPanel, because I'm going to explain how you can install WordPress, which is the platform that will allow you to start creating your website. So let's go back to this page. I'm going to click on Home. And now what you want to do is simply go below, and you can see under Software and Services you have this small icon that says Quick Install, which you want to click on it. And you are redirected to another page, and just takes a few seconds so it can actually upload. And once you go below, you can see that you have this huge button that says Install WordPress, which you want to click on it. Once you do that, you click once again on Install WordPress. And now you want to go once again to this option over here, and you want to select your website. So make sure, if it's a new account, you really don't have many options, but you always want to make sure you are choosing the correct website where you are going to install WordPress. Okay, administrator email. This is exactly the email that I created previously, which I already have over here saved, which is this one. So this is the email that you created previously and you want to use it for your website. Block title really doesn't matter because later on you can actually change this on WordPress Dashboard, so it doesn't matter what you put over here. It's administrator user. This is the username that you will need later on to log into your WordPress Dashboard, so it's really important for you to remember it. First name and last name, just like this. Now you just press this green button, install WordPress, and just in a brief few seconds I will have WordPress installed. As you can see, it's really quick, it's really easy. Now let's go actually to ProSiteTutorials, and once you actually install WordPress, you will receive this email to your inbox. And this email contains your password. This is the information, the username and the password. This is the information that you need so you can actually log in to your WordPress dashboard. So let's go to my new website. And if you are using HostGator, one problem that you will see is this one. Once you go to your website, you won't be able to see your website. Instead, you will have this annoying thing that says Mojo Marketplace. And the reason why you have this is because you have a plugin, or you could also call an application, installed on your website, which is actually creating this. I wouldn't say this is an issue, but you just cannot easily assess your website. So what you actually need to do so you can assess your website is you want to go once again back to your cPanel, and we are actually going to delete the Mojo Marketplace plugin, because honestly you really don't need that plugin for anything useful. So you want to go back again to your HostGator cPanel. Once you are here, you go right below to File Manager. You want to click on it and you want to choose your website from this listing, and then you press go, and you are taken to this page. This is the page where you have all of the files that are installed on your website. So these are all of the files that was created previously when I actually installed WordPress. What you want to do is simply go over here to WP content. You want to click on it. Then you go to themes. Themes, actually plugins. You want to go to plugins. Click on it. And then you can see that you have over here Mojo Marketplace. This is exactly the plugin which is creating the previous problem which you saw previously. So what I'm going to do is simply press delete. Okay, so I press delete and it removes that plugin from my website. Now once I refresh my website, you can see that now I can see my website. So only do that if you actually have that problem with Mojo Marketplace, because you cannot see your website for probably a couple of hours or even a couple of days. So you really don't want to wait that long so you can start making your website. Now let's log in to our website dashboard so we can start working on our new website. So for me to do that, I go where you see ProSiteTutorials.xyz, and over here I want to add a small extension in front of my domain name, which is WP-Avni. So this is exactly the extension which you want to add after your domain name. Once you have that, you just press enter and you're taken to your login page. So over here you want to put the information which you received to your email inbox, which is this one. So in this case I actually don't need the username and I just need my password so I can log in. And if you want, you can put just remember me, so the next time you don't need to once again have this information. So I'm actually going to click on remember me and just press login. Okay, so once you log in, this is the first page that you will be able to see, which is the dashboard. And honestly, this is not a page which you later on will use much. But I'm still going to give you just a brief idea of what you can find in the dashboard, and also some of the options that you can see on the sidebar. But later on in this video, I'm going in more detail, and I'm actually going to use the several options that you can see on the sidebar. So I'm just going to explain really quickly for the moment. Okay, the dashboard, you can see that you have this option, this huge button that says customize your site. You can click on it and immediately change the design of your website. You can also click on these several links to perform a specific action. For example, to write your first post if you want, to add an about page, to view your site, widgets and menus. All stuff that I'm going to talk more in detail later on in this video. Below at a glance, you can see the number of posts that you have at the moment in your website, also the number of comments and also pages. Quick draft is something that, well, it's not something that I never use this option, but the idea behind quick draft is if you have this idea of writing something but you are quite in a rush to go to work or whatever, you can simply write over here on this section that says quick draft whatever you have in mind, and this will save as a draft. That means that it won't be published on the internet, so it will just be saved, and later on, once you have more time, you just can review what you wrote, and if you want, you may publish it on the internet. Activity, you can see what was recently published on your website, also the comments, what people actually comment on your website. WordPress news, you can see the latest news related to WordPress, their latest updates, and so on. And then you have the sidebar. On the sidebar, you have updates. And once you click on updates, you can see the plugins which need to receive an update. As you can see, Schema and Jetpack. These are the two plugins that I have installed once I install WordPress on my website. These are the plugins which come with it. And then you have the post section where you can view all of the posts that you have in your website. You can also click on this button to add new. Then you have the category section. This is something I'm also going to explain more in detail later on. But the category section is an option that lets you basically organize the posts that you have in your website by topics. Then you have tags. This is something that you don't even use nowadays, so it's not really relevant. Then you have the media section, which allows you to see all of the images that you have uploaded to your website. So once you add more images to your website, it will start forming over here a gallery with all of the images that you have. You can also press to add new, this button over here on the top section. Then you have pages. And pages allows you, well, to create pages, as the name says. And you probably are having quite a difficulty in distinguishing the difference between posts and pages, because I know that when you are starting out, this is something that most people actually do, a bit of confusion when it comes to this. So posts, you should use this section, posts, you should use for all the articles that you want to add to your website. This can be tutorials, how-to guides, tips related to your niche, and all of the content that you really want to add to your website. You should always use posts for that. Pages, on contrary, you should only use for static information that you want to add to your website. This includes your about page, your contact page, and all of the information that you want to keep on your website. statically. So it's information that you many times do initially for your website, and it's not something that you really change much, but at the same time you want to put in a place in our website where people can easily find it. So you should always use pages for that type of information. Then you have the comment section, which allows you to see all of the comments that you have in your website, the ones that are pending for review, the ones that you already approved, and the ones that went to your spam section. Also the ones that you deleted and went to your trash. Then you have the appearance section. Over here you really have a lot of options. You can change the design of your website by going to this theme section. Then you can customize the section of your website. Then you have the widget section, and I'm going to just show to you what is the widget section just in a brief moment. I'm going to delete a few tabs over here which I don't need any longer. Okay, the widget section is exactly this section that you can see on the right. This is the section where you can see the recent posts, recent comments, archives. This is what we call widgets. This is something that you can change on WordPress. Once you go to appearance, you click on widgets. You can change this widgets, what exactly you have on the sidebar. Then you have menus. Allows you to create a menu. A menu is exactly this section. Actually, let me see if I can find it. For some reason this theme doesn't have it, but later on I'm going to, once I install the other theme, you can see it more easily. So the menu is where all of the links that you have in your website, you want people to find different pages and so on, you have it on your menu. So it's basically the navigation of your website. And you can create a custom one. That means that you can have the pages that you want. Then you have the header section, the background, and the editor. The editor is basically the coding of your website. So we have several files over here which you can see. It's really not that relevant at this point. Then you have plugins, and when it comes to plugins, you really can install many plugins. This is really one of the most powerful features when it comes to WordPress, because with plugins you can basically do whatever you want with your website. If you want to create an e-commerce website, you can use plugins for that specific thing. And the good thing about plugins, and the reason why they are so powerful, is because you don't need to code them onto your website. Someone else coded this plugin and you install it on your website, and it performs the action that you want on your website. So basically plugins gives action to your website. And there are thousands and thousands of plugins which you can choose for your website. I'm going to later on show to you how you can add plugins, install them, and so on. So these are the plugins that come with the WordPress installation. Then you have users. This allows you to see the users that you have in your website. At the moment, I just have myself, which is I'm the administrator of my website. You can also add new users. That means that you can even give roles to the users on your website. You can allow them to see several sections and perform several actions on your website. For example, write posts and pages. So you can have more writers on your website, and you can use this option, users, for that. Then you have tools. This allows you to either do a backup of your website and also upload that backup of your website using these options. And then you have settings. Over here in settings, you can go to general, and actually that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to general, and I'm going to change some things over here. You can see site title and tagline. These are the lines that you can see over here. This is the site title, and this is the tagline, which appears right below. And you can change that information over here if you want. So in this case, this website will be called Jordan's Cooking. And tagline, I'm actually going to delete it. Over here, WordPress address, URL. If you want to have those three W's, you can add it over here if you want to use it just by doing this. So where you see HTTP 2 points, and then you have this this lines over here, you just need to have three W's just like this, and make sure you have exactly this over here, okay? Then what you do is you simply copy this address and you paste it below, just like this. Then you go right below and you just press Save Changes. Then you need to log in once again to your back office of your website. In this case, I don't like this, and I very rarely even use this option. Then you have below the email address for your website. Also, you can change the time zone, the date format, the time format, and so on. Honestly, I never actually changed anything over here. It's not that relevant. Then you can go to rating over here, and at this point it's not really important, the information that you can find over here. Front page display, this is quite important, and this allows you, as you can see, when you install WordPress, what happens is your front page works as a blog. That means every single post, new post that you create for your website will appear on your front page, and it will appear from the most recent one to the oldest one. But in case you want to do a more normal website, you can actually, if you want to create a more normal website where your front page is just static information, you can actually change that over here. So you just choose this option over here, and you need to create over here a new page for your front page. And once you create a new page for your front page, it will actually appear over here. And then you can even select another page where your blog section will appear on your website. So that's exactly what that does. And to save changes. Discussion allows you to change several options when it comes to the comments that you receive on your website. Then also have media. Allows you to change the thumbnail size of the thumbnail images that you had to your website. Also the median size of the images for your website, and also large size. Permalinks. At this point, it's really not that important. The only thing that I would change over here in Permalinks is you go to Structure, Custom Structure, and what you do is you simply delete all of this information over here, and you just leave this extension. Percentage postname percentage. This is the only extension that you leave. What this will allow you to do is once you create a post, you will be able to add a custom URL or a custom name to your URL for that post. I know that at this point this might seem a bit confusing, but later on you will see more exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to say changes. And this is a great way because this allows you to improve your rankings on the search engines, because you can actually add a search phrase on the URL. So I'm just going to leave this and press Save Changes. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do now is simply change the design of your website, because at this point this is the design that I have, and actually I'm going to see which is this theme. So you go to Appearance, you select Themes. Now at this point I'm using 2016. And honestly, if you actually work with this theme, it may look a bit better, but it just doesn't look that great. It's quite a classic design for a website, nothing special. And the theme that I'm going to use for this video is called Optimizer. So for you to select a new theme, you go over here to Add New, and you click on this button. In the theme section, as you can see, you have a lot of different themes which you can choose from, and the theme is nothing more than the design for your website. The great thing about WordPress is how easily you can actually change the whole appearance of your website. Basically, the only thing that you need to do is once you chose the theme that you enjoy, you just need to press this install button, and in the next page that appears, you just need to activate that theme on your website. That's how simple it is for you to change the appearance of your website. However, when it comes to installing a new theme on your website, I always recommend for you to make a backup of your website, because some themes may actually cause problems on your website, and you certainly don't want to lose all of the content that you have over there. So always make a backup of your website, and for you to do that, just click on the link that you can see on the screen so you can watch my other video where I explain this all in detail. Initially, this is not very important because you certainly don't have much content in your website, but later on, when you have more content, it's really important for you to do this. Okay, so this is the future section. Then you have the popular section. These are the themes that are the most used by the WordPress community. So these themes over here are certainly not very unique because there are a lot of people actually using them, and they are all completely free. And I believe most themes nowadays are all responsive, and that's really important for you to see, because a lot of people nowadays use mobiles and cell phones to go to websites, and it's important for you to have a theme that will automatically adjust to their screens. And then you have the latest. These are the most recent themes that were published. And these ones you need to be particularly cautious about using them, because since they're recent, a lot of people still haven't tested them, and they may sometimes come with bugs. Also a lot of good looking themes. And it's really impressive how nowadays you can find so many free themes that look really impressive. You really have a lot of impressive themes over here. Then you have this section called Future Filter, and this allows you to filter themes based on your preference. So you can choose, for example, black colors on your theme. Let's say also red, and also layout. I'm going to choose responsive because that's really important. And I'm just going to press Apply Filters. And as you can see, I get a couple of themes with my preferences. This over here looks really nice. Ignima Parallax. And then if you know the exact name of the theme that you want to use, you just need to put over here on the search box so you can find it. In my case, I'm going to use Optimizer for this video. I really like this theme a lot. It's really good. And you have also a Pro feature when it comes to this theme. And if you decide to use the Pro feature, you will get a few extra features with this theme. However, just using the free option, you still get massive amounts of features, and this allows you to create a unique website, and a website basically who nobody else has a similar design on the internet. And that's something that I consider really important for you to actually have nowadays, because you want to have a unique design for a website, something that actually differentiates you from all other websites on the internet. So I'm just going to press install, and I'm going to activate this theme so I can start using it. And once I refresh my website, you can see that I now have my theme installed. And as you can see, it's so easy for you to change the whole design of your website. It's important to remember that sometimes you see this nice looking thumbnail over here, this image, and sometimes you install the theme and then you get something that doesn't look anything similar to the thumbnail which you saw. And that's because you need to have more content to your theme, more images and so on, until you get something that looks similar. Once you install the theme, you can see that now you have a new section appearing called Customize. And this is a section which you want to use. In this case, for this theme, this is a section which you want to use so you can start changing the appearance of your website. So I'm going to click on it. When it comes to the customizing options of Optimizer, It's really unique what they have over here, and it's something that I never saw on any other theme that I've used so far. Once you go to this page, you can see that you have several sections, and in each section you can pretty much personalize one of the sections on your website. So I'm going to go one by one and talk about each one, and I will develop a different website, a unique website using these options. So the first one is basic, and once you go to basic and click on it, you can see that you have other sections which appear, and you want to go to site layout. And on site layout you can choose either from full width, which is what I have now. So full width is basically occupies the whole window. When someone goes to your website, it occupies their whole window. Then you have also the box layout, and basically this is a more classical look of a website. So I'm just going to save and publish and refresh it. You can see that this is the box layout. So this is a more classical look for your website if you prefer that. In my case, I just like to use the full width. Once that is done, you want to go to basic style, and in this case this is not very relevant, but if you actually chose box, you may want to change the color of your background by using this option. As you can see, this allows you to change the color of your background. In my case, since it's full width, it's not relevant. I'm just going to leave white. Set background image. If once again you have the box mode, you may want to put an image as your background, and you can do that by selecting this option. You go select image, and then you upload. You go to upload files, and you select an image that you have saved on your computer. Fix background image. If you want your background image to be fixed or not, you can use this option. Site content test color. This is this letters over here. So I'm actually going to change this color. I'm just going to click on this small box, and I want a darker gray. So I'm actually going to put over here a darker gray, like this. So I want this, and as you can see, it changes the color for my test just by doing this. Other elements, I'm actually going to, elements is this little buttons. In this case, this is a search button. You can actually change this color. In this case, I'm going to use green. Actually, I'm going to select one of these colors that you can see below. To use this green for my website. As you can see, it immediately changes the button over here. And other elements, I'm actually going to select the same color that I chose previously, darker gray, and just do this. And actually, yeah, I'm going just to choose this color. And actually this changes the color of the letters inside of this search button, as you can see. So once that is done, once you got everything over here that you want, I'm going to basic fonts, and this allows you to choose the font that you want for your website. Site content font, this is the font that you will have inside of your content, inside of your posts, pages, and so on. And as you can see, you really have a lot of fonts which you can choose from. In my case, I want to use one called sans serif. This is a really common font, and it looks really clean. As you can see, this is the kind of fonts that I like to use for my websites because they look clean, they are easy to read. And I'm actually going to increase the font a bit to 17 pixels to make my test easier to read. This is something that I see many times people doing mistake, is having a font that is way too small for their website like 12 pixels or 13 pixels. And I mean, you can read, but always remember it's other people who are going through your website, and sometimes people don't have some people don't have such a great vision, and they may have a hard time actually reading your content. So 17 pixels, 18 pixels is always a good size for your font, and this also depends on the family that you choose as your font. And headings, which is this title over here on top, I'm actually going to choose the same font, which is sans serif. And actually you can change this if you like to have everything like this with uppercase. You can leave this on, but I'm actually going to turn this off because I like my titles this way. Now I'm just going to save and publish. Just in case if something actually happens, I have everything that I did until now saved. Now let's go to set identity. Set identity, this allows you to have something called Favicon. Favicon is a small icon that appears on your tab section over here. It's this little icon that you can see. In this case, I just have a blank page. So I actually need to create a small image so I can insert over here. Something I'm going to use for that is called Photoshop. This is not completely a free software, Photoshop. It's a professional software which allows you to edit your images and also create new images. However, you can go to their website, which is photoshop.com, and you can get a free trial for 30 days. So you can basically use for 30 days their software, create the images that you want for your website, and if you like using that software, you can continue using it. You also have another free option called GIMP, and you can click on the link that you can see on the screen, and you will be able to watch my other video where I explain how you can use GIMP, which is a completely free software. But in this video I'm going to use Photoshop because honestly I prefer Photoshop. I feel I've been using Photoshop for a lot of years, and I just find it far easier for me to use. So let's go to Photoshop, and I'm going to show to you how you can actually do a favicon for your website. So let's go to Photoshop. I'm just going to align this. Okay, once you install Photoshop on your computer and you open Photoshop, I'm pretty certain that you will have your window set up in a different way, as you can see over here, because honestly I already don't remember how it came, but I guess you have this sidebar on the right side and so on. So this sidebar over here pretty much has all of the options that you need to edit your images. You can write test by using this small t over here. Actually, this is initializing. You can also draw stuff using this small pencil. Brush, you have brush tools, and you have a lot of options. You can also select stuff using this small magic wand, as they say. You have a rubber to basically delete stuff that you don't want to appearing on your images. You have the bucket which allows you to fill a specific space with the color that you want. And I'm going to basically just explain the basics of how you can use Photoshop. I'm not going much in detail because I guess if you are new to this, you're new to this kind of tools and making websites, I really don't want to complicate this a lot because I know that it's a lot of information. So the first thing that you need to do is simply set a new layer. So for you to do that, you go to File and you click on New. And in this case, this is a really small icon that you want to do. It's a 16 by 16 pixels. It's really small. So what you want to do is in width you want to put 16, and over here on height you want to put 16. And make sure that you have over here pixels, not inches, not centimeters or millimeters. You want pixels. and then you just press OK. You can see that now I have a small little box over here, or square, and actually I'm going to select this small icon because I want to zoom in because this is really small. Now the thing that you want to always do each time that you open a new layer and you want to create new images for your website is simply go over here to Windows. You want to go to Windows, actually View. You want to go to View, select New Guide, and in vertical you want to put 50% I mean. Then you want to repeat the same process, in this case for horizontal. So New Guide, horizontal, 15%. And as you can see, now I have a few lines which allows me to center stuff on this square over here. Now what I want to do is get an image and basically make it an icon. I already have an image, and I'm actually going to mention the website where I got most of my images for my website. This is a website where you can get free images, and it's called pixabay.com. This is a really good website where you can get a lot of free images, and as you can see in this website called pixabay.com, you have really high quality images which you can use freely on your website. This is something that it's really important, especially if you don't have any images your own to use on your website, because you don't want to use copyright content and get in later on in trouble, especially when your website starts getting more famous. So get free images over here for your website. And let's go back to Photoshop, and I'm actually going to get the image that I'm going to use over here. So I need to go to where I have my image. Okay, it's this image, and this is the image that I'm going to transform into a small icon. And what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to, as you can see, you have this little window appearing over here called layers, and basically that's how Photoshop works. It's based on layers. And if you don't have this window appearing, you just need to go to Window, and you can see that you have this section called Layers, and click on it, so it will appear. Now what you want to do is create a new layer by pressing this icon, and you can see that now I have a new layer appearing on top. This means by layer is, if I actually design something over here and I select another color, this means that this layer is on top of my chef hat. But if I actually drag it just right below, now you cannot see it because it's below this chef hat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out all of this white section that is all around my hat, because I want to make this transparent. So what I do is I select this magic wand, and I just select the area which I want to delete. This might be necessary or not depending on the icon that you are doing, but in this case I'm going to do this for this icon. And now just pressing Shift, always holding Shift, I'm going to select another area, and now another area, and now this area, until I have everything over here, as you can see, selected. And now I just press Delete. And you can see that now it simply cleared all of the white border that I had all around my hat, and now you can see the layer below. So that's exactly what I mean by layers. Now what I'm going to do is simply delete this layer because I don't need it. I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to make this layer have a background color. And for me to do that, it's really simple. I just click on this. Actually, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going back to my other image, And as you can see, at the moment it's locked, and I'm going to unlock it by double clicking on it and pressing OK. And now I'm going to choose the color that I want to make this background appear. So for you to choose a color, you can see that below you have two squares, and this allows you to select two colors that you want to use. I'm going to select the one that is appearing first, the first box. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to make it black. You can basically select the color that you want by just playing around over here. And now I'm going to make this black just by going over here and pressing OK. Now I'm going to select a small bucket, and as I said, a small bucket allows you to basically fill a section that you want with a specific color, and I'm going to make it black. And now I'm getting back to my other image, and I have two windows. As you can see, these are two images separated, and now I'm going to image over here to this section because I want to reduce the hat so it can actually adjust over here. So what I'm going to do is image size. As you can see, this is the width and the height of my hat of this image. So I'm actually going to reduce this and actually try 16 pixels. As you can see, it immediately reduces at scale the height to 12 pixels. Now I'm just going to press OK, and I have a small, really small little hat over here appearing, and I'm simply going to select it using this small arrow. I'm going to select it and just drag it to my previous window. And for some reason it actually didn't pass because I actually mistakenly and just passed the other layer that I have below. So what you want to do is make sure that you are selecting the right layer. In my case, I wasn't. So select the right layer that you have over here. Just drag it to the previous image that you have, and as you can see, now I have a small little hat appearing over here, and this will be my icon. So just try to center as best as you can. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. So I'm going to File, and I'm going to Save As, and make sure that you are in the right file where you want to save your image, and I'm going to save it as PNG. So save it as PNG. I commonly use PNG for small images, and I'm just going to call this favicon.png, and I'm going to press save. Okay, that is done. Now I have a fav icon. Going back to my website, over to customize, and now I'm going to select the image that I want to use. So once you select the image, you can see that you got to be on the upload files. You need to press select files, and then you need to go to the exact file where you have the image that you want to use for your website. So this is the image that I want to use, and you can see that it uploads the image. Now you just need to press select, and actually I'm just going to skip cropping because I don't need it, and there you go. Now I have a small fav icon. I'm going to press save publish, and I'm going to refresh my website and see if it actually is working. And you can see that now I have a small little icon appearing on my tab section. So that's how you can do a fav icon. I recommend for you to always do this for a website because it just seems more professional having a small fav icon appearing over there. Okay, so let's go back to the customizing options, and now let's go to the header section. So on the header section, and if you don't know what the header section is, well, it's simply this section right on top of your website. So on the header section, you can customize this area of your website. So I'm going to click on this option, header. Transparent header on front page. If you don't want your title appearing on top of your image, you can just turn this off, and you can see that now my title is right on top of the image. Actually, I'm going to leave it that way because I prefer it. You can also change the header background color, which is this color over here, and I'm actually going to make this black. So I'm going to choose black over here. And now let's go to site title and logo. And I'm not going to use this site title, neither this tagline. I'm going to create one for my website. So I'm going to delete this because I don't want a tagline, neither do I want a site title. I'm going to create an image. So I'm going to select the image section, and now I need to create an image using Photoshop. So I need to create a title for my website. This is basically the logo. So let's get to Photoshop and let's do a logo. So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to File, New. I'm going to select the size that I want, and the size that I found the best one for my website was this one, 200 pixels, has width and height 65 pixels. So this is sometimes something that you really need to try out. You do a logo from with a specific size, then you upload, you test it on your website, see if you like it, that size. Probably sometimes you need to tweak it a bit, just reduce the size and then upload again and so on until you get exactly what you want. So I'm going to create a layer with this size. And now I'm going to unlock the background because I don't want this locked. And I'm going to write some text. So I'm just going to select this T, this small T, and I'm going to select the font that I want to use, and you can see that you can choose the font family right over here on the top section. So the one that I want to use is, let me see if I can find it. Actually, if you need more fonts, it's this one. If you need more fonts, just type on Google search box free fonts, and you can find a lot of websites offering a lot of free fonts. And this is one of the most important parts when it comes to creating a logo. It's really the font that you use. So I'm going to increase the size a bit, and I'm just going to click where I want to write inside of my layer, just like this, and you can see that now I have a small blinking cursor appearing. So I'm going to write what I want. Jordan's cooking. Might need to reduce the size a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control and A at the same time. Make sure that you have your cursor blinking inside of your text, as you can see over here, and this allows you to select everything. Then you go on top and you can select a different size, just like this. Actually, I'm going to put a custom one. Probably just keep it this way. Actually, I forget to put the alignment, so I'm going to View, New Guides, and basically do the same thing that I did previously. It's something that you should always do so you can align stuff more easily. And now I'm going to put a small icon, which is the small chef hat that you saw previously. So I'm going to open the same image, which is this one. Actually, it's saved this way. So I needed to close it and just reopen again. And I'm going to do basically the same thing I did previously. Just select the sections which I want to delete. Always make sure that you are selecting the right layer which you want to work with. I know that this initially might seem a bit confusing if you are starting out, but I mean, if you want to have a website, you really need to get used to using this kind of tools. And by no means I'm a professional at Photoshop, but I just been using since I can really remember. I've been using Photoshop for nearly 15 years now. So I'm going to just pass this layer, apply changes. I'm going to select a small arrow and just pass it just by dragging and dropping on the other image over here. And you can see that now I have the small hat appearing over here. And as you can see, I have a small box around with small squares, and what I need to do is select the squares, a square in this case the side corner, and just by pressing shift, I need to press shift so it can reduce in portion. Always holding shift, as you can see, I can reduce this way in proportion. Okay, I'm actually going to put this on the top, and I'm going to increase it so I can see it better. Apply changes, yes. Select over here to zoom in so I can see it more easily and work with my logo more easily. And once again, I'm going to decrease the size a bit, just like this. And I'm going to select the other image, the other layer below with my letters, and I'm going to try, and I know that this won't be exactly a line, but I'm going to try my best over here. I need to reduce my image a bit, just like this. And you can see that once you put on the corner, you can see that you get another arrow, and once you click on it, this allows you to basically rotate your image the way that you want. I'm going to apply changes. Now I'm going to select the image, the small arrow over here, and just reposition this, just like this. And you can actually use your keyboard, the small arrows that you have in your keyboard, while you have the image selected, and this allows you to reposition the way that you want. Okay, that way. I guess this will be good. Now what I want to do is just delete the background. So I'm going to select the last layer that you can see over here, which is the white background, and I'm going to delete it. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to have a transparent background, because once I pass this image to my website, this way it will adjust to the color of the background that I have in my website. I will show more exactly what I mean by this. So now what I'm going to do is simply change the color font of my test. So I'm going to select that layer which has my font. I'm going to click on the small t so I can use my test section, and I'm going to click once again where I have my test. I'm going to select everything by using Control A, and I'm going to go to the small box on the top, click on it, and this allows me to choose the color that I want. And in this case I want white. I know that you cannot see it well, but once I pass to my website, which has the black background, you can easily see my title. So now I'm going to save. I'm going to actually just do this, and I'm going to save as, and once again I'm going to save as PNG. This is really important for you to save this as a PNG file, because you only with PNG file you can have a transparent background. And I'm going to call it logo, and just press OK over here. Now I'm going back to my website, and I'm going to upload this image by select image. I'm going to upload files, select files, go into the files that I have belong to my website, and I'm going to select logo. And let's see how this will look like. Choose the image. Okay, great. Actually, it doesn't look bad. So I'm going to save changes, refresh my website, and you can see the changes now. It's a small little title. This is really basic stuff when it comes to making titles. I really didn't want to overcomplicate because it can do a lot more with Photoshop, but just keep it basic, just keep it simple. And now let's go to the other section, which is called menu. When it comes to the menu, you cannot actually see the menu over here on this screen. I guess it's because the window is quite reduced, so it doesn't appear over here on the right side. But once you go to my website, this is the navigation bar, and this is where you place the links, which allows people who go to your website to more easily navigate and find the content that they want in your website. And you can change the color of the font that appears over here, and also once someone overs a specific link, you can see that it changes, in this case, to white, and you can change this using these options. So menu test color, I'm going to transform it into white. When someone overs a specific link, you can also add a color. I'm going to do it green, just like this. An active test color, active link, is when someone is in specific page and that link is active. You can also add a specific color to that. So I'm going to make it green. And menu font size, I'm going to increase the font a bit to 16 pixels. Save and publish. And now I'm just going to refresh the website so you can see the changes. And you can see that it increased the font a bit, and once I hover my mouse on top of this link, you can see that it passes from white to green. And it looks really good. Okay, let's go back to the customizing options. And now we have everything over here done on header, and let's go to the front page section. On the front page section, you have several good options, which allows you to change the image on your slider, which is this image that you can see over here. You can also change the front page widgets. These are stuff that I'm going to talk about later on. But what we are going to do over here is go to the slider section, because I want to change this image. And one thing, since I'm using the free version of Atomizer, I can only have one image appearing on the slider. So if you want to have the slideshow or the video, you actually need to have the pro version. With the slideshow, you can have several images switching around on this section that you have on your front page. So I'm going to go to image because I want to change this image over here. And once again, for me to do an image for this section, I need to go to Photoshop. And in Photoshop, I'm going to create a new layer where I can work with. So I'm going to File, I'm going to click on New, and on Width, these are sizes, the sizes which I found the best for the image that will appear on the header section of your website. So the best size that I found was 1280 pixels by 500 pixels. So this is the size that I recommend, and this is the layer that appears. And now I need to open the image which I want to add over here. So I go once again to File. In this case, I press Open, and it's this one, which is Cooking Header. This is the image that I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to this image, and you can see that I want to unlock this section. So I'm going to click on this small locker so I can unlock it. And now what I'm going to do is simply drag this layer to the one that I have below, just like this, so I can have this image appearing. And I'm going to increase the size of this window a bit, and I'm going to decrease the size of this image because it's way too big. So I'm just going to click on this small square on the corner and just reduce the size of the image just like this till I have something that looks good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition my image. So I'm going to click on this small arrow once again, apply changes, and just using the just using the arrows that I have on my keyboard, I'm going to reposition the image the way that I want, just like this. So this is the image that I'm going to put on the header section of my website. And I'm going to save this file. I'm going to save as, and let's call this header. And in this case, I'm going to save it as JPEG, so as this file, because this type of extension, this type of file is better for larger images that you want to add to your website. Always use JPEG for that. I'm going to save changes, and I'm going to decrease the quality a bit to 10. The reason I'm going to do this is so I can reduce the size of the image, and this way it won't take so much time uploading on my website, because the bigger the image, the more quality it has, the larger it will be the file for that image, and also it will take longer for it to upload on your website. So I'm going to reduce a bit, and it won't lose much quality this way. Now I'm going back to my website. I'm going to remove this image, and I'm going to select another image. I'm going to get the one that I have, and it's the header one. Where it is, it's here. I'm going to open this file and just choose image, and you can see that it just changed my image that way. It looks quite good. Quite good. And I'm going to save and publish, and I'm going to refresh my website so you can see the changes. Just by changing, basically just by changing a few things, you can see that the website is starting to look better and better. So let's go back to customize. And once you go below, you can see that you have static slide content, and you want to press edit content. This option allows you to change the text that you can see on top of your image. I'm going to press edit content, and you can see that at the moment this is in test mode, so you can see the HTML coding. It might seem quite confusing, but you want to click on the visual tab, and this way you can see something that looks at least easier for you to understand. And actually I'm going to delete everything, just like this. I'm going to delete everything, and I'm going to write a new line. So I'm going to write a new line. Let's see, learn. And the reason, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this catchy title over here appearing, and I'm going to put a small button below, and when someone clicks on that button, they will be taken to another page where I will promote a course where people can learn how to cook better in 30 days. And this is just an idea, because you can do whatever you want. You can, for example, put a button. When someone clicks on the button, they are taken to a tutorial that you have in your website, your best content, or to a specific service, product, or whatever you have in your website. And the idea of doing this is because you will have in this section of your website, which is what people see initially, and if they are interested, they probably will click on that button to check out your service or product. So it's really the best place to put something catchy or a product that you have in your website, because people will easily see it. So what I'm going to do is just select everything, and I'm going to transform this into, let's see, header 1. I'm going to transform this to a main title, header 1. And I'm going to underline just chef. I'm just going to double click on chef, and you can see that it just selects this word, and I'm going to underline it. If you actually ever use any kind of text editor, it's pretty similar to the options that you have over here. You have underline. If you click the B, it makes it bold. In this case, you cannot notice because it's heading 1, so it's already bold. And I'm going to underline the 30 days just like this. And if you want, you can even change the color. You can just select everything, go to this small A, and you can see that once I over it, you can see test color. You can click on this small arrow and pretty much choose this color that you have over here. Or if you want a custom one, just click on this custom link and you can pretty much choose whatever color that you want. So I'm going just to save changes. And you can see that now I have another title appearing over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this button. So I'm going to delete one of them because I just want to have one button. And once someone clicks that button, they're taken to my page where I promote a course. So I'm going to delete the second button. And the way I do this is just delete button test, and you can see that it automatically deletes that button from appearing over here. And I'm going to button 1, which is this one that you can see the demo. And I'm going to add another test over here. Let's say start your course here. Start your course here, so something, a call to action. And now I'm going to button link. You actually need to first, later on, you actually need to create a new page where you will promote your product or tutorial or whatever you have. You need to create a new page, and then you actually need to add that link from that page over here. This is something that I will explain later on in this video, but for now I'm just going to leave as it is. And in this case, you can choose the button that you want. You have different formats for this. I want rounded, big, just like this, so people can see it really well. And I'm going to change to another color, a color that is more catchy. Let's check red. And this actually looks pretty good, just like this. And I'm going to leave center, but you can put it to the left, to the right if you want. But I'm just going to leave it center. Save and publish. And refresh my website so you can see the changes. Learn how to cook like a chef in 30 days. Probably this font in white is not really, might be quite hard for people to read. I would probably change the color of this font until I had something that was more easily readable. So I'm going to leave it for now like this. And when it comes to this section, front page, then you have front page widgets. This is something that I will explain later on. And then you have the static front page. This is pretty much the same thing that you saw previously on settings, and on settings where you can choose to have your front page has a blog or has a static page. You pretty much do the same thing over here in this section. Now let's go to the other section, which is the footer section. Okay, the footer section, if you don't know what the footer section is, once you go to your website, the footer section is this last section that appears on your website. So it's this one that has a different color. You have your header section, which is this one on the top section. Then you have your sidebar, your main section where your content will appear. Then you have right below your footer section. So footer widgets, this is something that I will talk later on more about. I'm not going to talk about now. Footer style, the only thing that you really need to change over here at this point is scroll to top button. So once you go below, you can see that I have this small arrow appearing on the corner. And I actually like this arrow over here because when someone reads all of my content, they can simply click on this small arrow and they go right to the top, making it really easy. So I'm just going to keep it on, and over here I'm not going to touch in anything else. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the copyright area. The copyright area is exactly this one that you can see over here, which says Optimizer WordPress theme. And you want to change this content. So what I'm going to do is click on Edit Content, and you can see that I have Optimizer WordPress theme. And now what I'm going to do is delete this first, and now I'm going to hold Alt, the Alt button on your keyboard, and then I'm going to write 0169. And there you go, you have the copyright symbol. So you just press Alt, always holding Alt on your keyboard, and then you just write 0169. And I'm going to put 2016 and just my website name, something like this, Pro Tutorials, and just save and close. And you can see that it changed over here, this option, this test. Now I'm going to change the color of my footer section. Actually, I want really black. It's a dark gray at the moment. So I just do this, copyright area background, copyright test color, which is this test. I'm actually going to make it white. Save and publish. Fresh website. So I can show you the changes. There you go. It's starting to look better and better. And now let's go to another section. In this section we have everything done. Let's go to posts and page. On the post and page section, there is really not much I'm going to change over here. I'm just going to the first section, post settings, and just a bit on top so you can see it better. If you want to just remove this section where you can see the date of the post and so on, you just need to choose this option, and as you can see, it immediately disappears. If for some reason you want to also delete the comment section from your website, you just check this option. Actually, I'm going to the post so you can see it more easily what I'm talking about. So this is one of the posts. This is the post that is automatically created by WordPress, and I can see below I have this comment, and if I want this to disappear, I just click on this option and make it disappear. Next in previous posts is something that you cannot see at the moment because I only have this post. So basically that's all that I'm going to do over here. And this is another thing that you want to change, post and page style. This allows you to change first the color of this title if you want. This is the main title for your post. In this case, I'm just going to put the same dark gray that you saw previously. And also you cannot see a link over here in this post, but you can also change the link inside of your content to another color. So regular is just the regular link. I'm actually going to choose the green that you saw previously, and I'm just going to make it a darker green. Something like this. And over is when someone puts the mouse on top of the link, it changes to another color. Once again, the green, it's like this. And sidebar widget, actually I think in the post I don't have the widget section, so I'm just going to the front page again. Okay, it's this section over here. And you can also change the background color for this if you want, but I'm just going to leave it white. And also sidebar widget title color, it's this title appearing on the top. Now I'm going to put the dark gray once again. Actually I click on a wrong link. And also this test, I'm going to change the color. This test that appears right below to dark gray, just like this, and make everything look similar. I'm going to increase to 17 pixels, save and publish, and on this section, posting page, that's all I'm going to do now. And some of the options are actually for the pro version, so you cannot do much about that, only if you get the pro version. And let's go to Miscelaneous. I cannot say this word. And you have the social links. This is also a really good option. Social links allows you to have some links to your Facebook, Twitter profile on the footer section of your website. So I'm going to click on social links, footer, normal size, and let's see, let's put a YouTube. Let's see if I actually remember my YouTube page. I think it's this one, Pro Tutorials. Save and publish, and you can see that immediately once I put the link over here for YouTube, you can see that I get a small little button appearing on the footer section, and this is really good. So social links, SEO setting is for pro, mobile layout. These are several options for mobile. When someone uses a mobile to go to your website, there are some things that you may want to hide. For example, hide the slider for mobile. The slider is this section if you don't want it appearing for a mobile, or the white sidebar, which is this section over here, if you don't want that appearing. And custom coding, you really don't need to have custom coding. If you want to have some extra CSS coding to your website, you can use this option. But if you are beginning, you certainly don't know how to code CSS at this point. And actually, other settings, I'm just going to leave it this way. It's quite irrelevant at this point. Menus and also widgets. This is something that I'm going to do inside of WordPress Dashboard. So that is all for the part when it comes to configuring the design for this website. Let's just check how it looks like at this point. Okay, already some changes. Now let's go back to WordPress Dashboard. So let's go back to our dashboard just by going over here to this section. Okay, now I'm going to explain how you can use plugins for your website. And for this website, I'm just going to install two different plugins. The first plugin is called Contact Form 7, and the reason why I'm going to install this plugin is because this lets me create a contact form page. This is a page that every single website should have because it allows people to easily contact you through email. The second plugin I'm going to install is called Social Media Feather. This is a plugin that lets me put social media buttons on my posts and so on. And this is a great way for people to easily share your content in Facebook, on Twitter, Google+, and so on. So for me to add plugins, you can go to the plugins section and you can immediately go to add new. But in this case, I'm just going to click on plugins because I want to explain more in detail this page which appears. Once you go to this page, you can see that you have several plugins which come with the installation of WordPress. When it comes to the plugins over here, the only one I usually keep is called Schema. This is a really good plugin and I recommend for you to use it because this plugin lets you block great part of the common spam that you receive on a daily basis to your website. And if you want more details about this plugin, you just need to click on the link that you can see on the video so you can watch my other video where I explain this in detail. Hello Dolly is a really useless plugin, and Jetpack, well, Jetpack is actually a good plugin which offers you a lot of features for your website. But the reason why I don't use Jetpack nowadays is because I found in the past that this plugin slowed my website quite a lot. So that's why I don't use Jetpack. So if you actually have one plugin activated, you first need to deactivate that plugin so you can remove it. But in this case, they are both deactivated, so I don't need to do that. So I select both, and now I go to this listing, and from here I select deactivate. No, I select delete, and I apply changes. And now I just, yes, delete these files and data. And you can see that it removes the plugins from my website. Also, you can see that you have several sections over here. Inactive allows you to see the plugins that you have inactive. When it comes to having plugins inactive, I always recommend for you to remove the plugins that are unnecessary, which you aren't using in your website, because first, it might actually slow down your website, and second, it may even cause some problems in your website. A good idea is always to have only the necessary plugins that you are using in the moment for your website. And update available, you can see the plugins which need to be updated. So I'm just going to press add new, so I can add another plugin. First, you will see the feature section. And you can see some plugins over here. You can go to the popular ones. It's quite similar. The sections are quite similar to the ones that you saw previously on the themes. The popular ones are the most used plugins at the moment. And as you can see, plugins, you really have a lot. And you might want to pass some time over here seeing the different plugins that you may want to use. Actually, this one, Updraft Plus, is a really good plugin, which allows you to make a backup of your website. Another plugin that I really recommend for you to use. So I'm just going to the top section over here to the search box, because I want to find Contact Form 7, which is this plugin. And I'm just going to install now. Actually, you can go to more details if you want further information about this plugin. And you can read more about it over here, the details of this plugin. But you can see by the rating, it's a really good plugin. Also, it has more than 1 million active installs. So I'm just going to press install now so I can start using it. And now I'm just going to activate the plugin. And in some cases, when you activate a new plugin, you can see that you get a new section appearing over here. So now I have this new section called Contact. Now I'm going to install another plugin. And in this case, it's Social Media Feather. When it comes to social media buttons, this type of plugins, you really have plenty of plugins to choose from. But I like to use this one. But you can also use another one if you prefer. Install now. Activate plugin. In this case, this plugin actually doesn't make... I think you have this new section over here in settings, if I'm not wrong. So in this case, it doesn't make a new section appear on the sidebar. But once you get to settings, you have this social media section appearing. Okay, once you go to the options belonging to this plugin, you can see that you have a lot of little things which allows you to tweak around. But the thing I recommend is display sharing buttons. If you have this option in check, just check it so you can start using this feature on your posts. Also, share buttons position. In this case, it's just after post. But let's actually go to my website so you can see more exactly what I'm talking about. So once I go to this post, you can see that now I have the buttons appearing. This is what this plugin does. So you can put after post. That means it's how it is now. When someone reads my content, they can see these buttons, which allows them to share my content. Or you can put before post. That means that the buttons will appear immediately before your written content. This is really up to you. You can also select where you want your share post types. In this case, I'm just going to leave in posts because I don't want it in pages. And I mean, most of the settings that come with this plugin are pretty good for you to start using it. You actually can, in this case I'm using the free option, but you can even get more extra skins for your icons if you want. And icon size, you may want to actually reduce it a bit if you prefer to have them a bit smaller. Let's try 32 by 32 pixels. Also, you can choose the spacing between the icons. I mean, these are quite, it's not really important. And over here, Facebook shirt title, this is for the widget section, okay? Widget section, when you install this plugin, you have new widgets that will appear once you go to the widget section. As I said previously, the widget section is a sidebar. I'm going to talk more about this in detail later on, but I want to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So you have this new section appearing, and for you to use this section on your sidebar, you just need to drag it and drop it on your widget section. And this allows you to add social media buttons to your sidebar. So I'm going to refresh my website so you can see more exactly. So now I have this showing options. And what you want to do is simply put your Facebook page for your website over here. You want to put the URL of that page. So when someone clicks on follow us on Facebook, they are taken to your Facebook fan page belonging to your website. So you want to do the same thing for Facebook. You want to do it for Twitter and for any other social media network that you are using for your website. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do just for this plugin. This is all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything else, and you're good to start using this plugin just like this. Now let's go to the other plugin called Contact. So I'm going to Contact, and I'm going to select First Contact Forms. In this page you can see that you already have a contact form created. So this was created when you actually installed the plugin. You can also create a new one if you want just by clicking on this button, but in this case I'm going to use the one that they already gave to me. And you also have a shortcode. This is the coding which later on you need to copy and paste it in the page where you want your contact form appearing. I'm going to show to you more exactly how you can do that later on, but for now I'm just going to contact form and I'm going to press edit. The contact form which they provide is a very basic one. Basically, this is what will appear later on your page. Your name, so you will ask that person's name, and then they will have a field below where they can put their name. Same thing with their email. Then it's the subject line, and then below you can see the message where the person can write the message which they want to send to you. Then the submit send, this is where the button later on will appear, which allows a person to send a message to you. And if you want to add an extra field, let's say you want to ask that person's phone number, let's just grab this piece of coding, copy it and paste it right below, just like this. And let's say, and you can also change the message that will appear on the screen. Your telephone number. And what I'm going to do is just delete this field because I don't want to use this. And I'm going to write, as you can see over on the top, you have several boxes which you can choose from. So this allows you to add different options to your contact form. In this case I want this one, which allows me to basically ask that person's phone number. You can also make it a required field. That means that person is obligated to put their phone number if they want to send a message to you. So I'm actually going to check this option. and just leave it this way. Okay, so that's how you can actually add an extra field if you want. Also, you can also do checkboxes by using this option, a quiz. So you really have plenty of options over here. Then this is the mail. This is basically the mail that you will receive to your email inbox. And this is a message that only you will be able to see. So nobody else will be able to see. So two, this is where it will be sent. From, in this field, your name, this will be filled with the name that person inserted on their contact form. The subject, same thing. Additional headers. Over here you can see this field, your email. This will be substituted by that person's email address. Then this is the message body, as you can see. And the message body, you can even change whatever it says over here, like hey there, because you can basically put whatever you want over here, because you will be the only person who will be able to see this message, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to save changes. So I'm not sure if I save changes over here. Actually it did. And then you have messages. Messages, this is in case that the person sent you a sent to you a message to your email inbox. They will have a message which will appear on their screen, and in this case it says your message was sent successfully. If it fails, then it has another message, and you pretty much have several options over here which you can also change if you want. For example, your message was sent successfully. Let's say thanks. I loved your message. Thanks. I'm not sure why someone would put that, but let's just try it out and press save changes. Okay, now what you want to do is once you have your contact form done, you simply want to grab this piece of coding and actually make sure if it's copying it correctly. Let me check. Yeah. And now what you want to do is create a new page for your contact form. So I'm going to pages and I'm going to add new. As I said previously, you should always use pages for this kind of static information which you want to add to your website. In this case, you can see that you are in the visual section. You want to go to the test section because this allows you to add coding to your page. And the first thing that you want to do is actually add a title to your page. Let's say contact me. And when it comes to the test formatting for your pages or even your posts, it's pretty similar to any kind of test editor out there. So if you ever used Word for Windows or any kind of software like that, the options are really similar. So let's just write something over here so you can see more exactly. Okay, so let's say that you want to do something bold. You just select the section which you want to make bold, the text bold, and you press the small b. Same thing for italic. And if you want to remove one of the options, selecting the same place, you just click on the same button again and it removes that option. You can also do a bullet point listing just by selecting this option one, and when you actually press enter, you have another bulleted point. Once you press 2 times enter in your keyboard, you can see that it removes you from the bulletin point listing. Also have a numbered list, basically the same thing as you saw previously. I can also add an horizontal line inside of your content, or put something in between quotes just by selecting everything which you want to make a quote section, and then you just select this option just like this. You can also align to the left, which is by standard align to the left, also to the center, to the right section of your website. And if you want to make a link, let's say I want to make this a link back to my website, you just select the area where you want to make a link, and you select this option, and over here you need to put the URL where you want to send someone once they actually click on that link. And I'll just have link, and you can see that it changes the color that was being shown previously. And to break a link, you just click remove link, and it removes the link. And for some reason, if you don't have these options appearing below, then what you need to do is just click on this small icon which says toolbar toggle to make something a main title for your content. Let's say title 1 over here. You just select everything, and you can see at the moment it's just a normal paragraph, but for you to make it a main title for your content, you just select over here heading 1, and same thing for a subtitle. So let's say this is a subtitle. In this case, you select heading 2, and commonly when it comes to headings, I just go down to heading 3. I very rarely even use heading 4 and so on. So those are the most common headings that you use. Then you have the underline over here, underline. If you want to change the color of everything, you just select this A, and you can pretty much choose a color over here, or you can go to custom and choose whatever you want, just like this. And if for some reason you want to remove all of the formatting that you have inside of your content, you select everything where you want to remove that formatting, and you click on clear formatting, and you can see that it removes everything at once. And you can save it as draft if you don't want to publish your page or your post in that specific moment, or you can do a preview so you can get a better idea of how exactly it looks like. So you can see that over here, you can see the titles which I've created, you can see the line, and below you have exactly the contact form which I've created previously. So you can see that I have the fields where that person can put their name, let's say Jordan, their email, doesn't really matter, the topic, the message, and let's say a phone number over here, and that person presses send, and then you can see the message which I have wrote previously. I love your message, thanks. And then once you go to this might actually take a while. Once I go to my inbox, you can see that I received that message. That's how you can do that. And also you have some, in this case you can choose different templates. You can make it a full width page. Let's see how this looks like. So in this case, once you do a full width page, if you select that template, you can see that I no longer have the sidebar. So you can see that you have over here several types of templates which you can choose for your page or posts. And there are some options over here. Parent. Parent is in case you have another page, you can make this a sub page from that parent. I know that this might sound a bit confusing, but once I go to posts, you will understand more exactly what I'm talking about with categories. So these are the options that you can use for page, and once you have everything that you need done, you can just publish it just like this. and you have your page done, your new page done. You can see that now it appears over here on the navigation bar, and when someone clicks on contact me, they're taken to this page where they can send a message to my email inbox. Okay, so that's the first page that you want to create, which is the contact me. And now what we are going to do is I'm going to create an about page. It's quite identical, but I'm going to show to you how you can just insert some images inside of your content. And I'm going to update this just like this. And I'm going to pages, and I'm going to add a new page. This will be my about page. So in the about page is the page where you want to talk a little about yourself, about your website, what it offers, or if you have a team behind your website, that's the kind of information that you want to put in this page. And it's a page which every single website should always have. So I'm just going to call it an about, and you can see that over here it immediately creates a permalink. And that's exactly the reason why when I went to settings and permalinks, I put percentage, post name percentage. The reason is because when it creates over here a link, you can see that I only have this about word over here, and you can actually change this and put whatever you want. For example, about me or something like that. And in some way you just get a cleaner looking link. And it's also important, probably not at this point, but it's also important later on when you want to rank your posts on the search engine, because it allows you to put search phrases inside of your permalink. And that's really one of the main reasons why you do that. So over here I'm just going to put some fake content, and I'm going to a specific site for that called lipsum.com, and I'm going to press this button to generate some content. Just copy everything over here and paste it. I just want to do this really quickly, and let's say that I'm going to do this as my main title, just like this. And now what I'm going to do is add an image. For you to add an image, it's really simple. You select the area where you want to add your image, you go to add media, and you can see over here this is the library of images which are already uploaded. And if you don't have the image which you want, then you go to upload files so you can get it from your computer. So let's press select files, and the image that I want is this one. And you can see that over here you have some options. You can add a different title for your image, a caption. Then you have this, which is the alternative text. In case for some reason your image doesn't open, it's broken or something, then that person will be able to see the test and get an idea of what that image would be about. So photo from a chef. And then you can add a description to your image, and you can set if you want to align it to the left, center, right, or none. And if you want a link, that means that when someone clicks on that image, they are taken to another website. You can add a custom URL if you want. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as none. Then you can select a specific size for your image. Let's try full size. And I guess this is really big. So this is way too big. But what you can do to reduce the image size is once you select your image, you can see that first you got several options which allows you to align to the right, center, and so on. And you can also press edit once again if you want to configure one of the options which you saw previously. But in this case, what I'm going to do is just reduce the size. So I'm going to select, and once I select the image, you can see that I get some small little squares on the corners of my image. What I do is I click on it, and I just do this and reduce the size of my image. just like that. And if you're thinking this is me, this is actually not me because, well, I just don't smoke and this guy is not me. But this is a good image, so I actually got it from Pixabay. Now I'm going to do a preview so you can get a better idea of how it looks like. Okay, so this would be my about page. It looks good. You can even make a link if you want. You can make a link to another page. Let's say I'm going to do a link back to my main page over here for some reason. And let's do a preview once again. So when someone clicks on this link, they are taken to my main page. Okay, now I'm just going to press publish. And now I'm just going to do another page. As you probably still remember, this button, when someone clicks, they are taken to no place because I still haven't done a page for my course. So I'm going to do a page for that. So I'm just going to press add new. Okay, I'm just going to call this page cooking course. It has some fake content over here just so it can appear more realistic. I already explained all of these options, so I'm not going to explain them once more, but I'm just going to grab this line so I can make it a title, and this can be a heading 1. Okay, now I'm going to publish it, and now what I'm going to do is I want to make this, when someone clicks on this button, they are taken to my course. And as I said, this can be anything that you want. It can be a service, it can be a product page, it can be a tutorial which you want to for people to have easy access to. So it can really be anything that you want. So I'm going to grab this URL, and now I'm going to appearance, press customize, actually open in a new tab, and you need to go to front page and to slider, and now you need to go right below where you have button 1, where you see button link. You want to delete this and you want to put your URL just like this. And make sure you don't have any blank space appearing before your URL or it won't work well. And I'm just going to save and publish it, and I'm going to my website, refresh it. So when someone clicks on this button, they are taken to my course where they can read the information about my course and get it. Okay, so that's all about pages. Now what we are going to do is we are going to the post section. So we are going to the post section, and you can see that I have Hello World, which is the post created by WordPress. And actually in pages, something that you should do is once you go to pages, you have a similar section as in posts. You want to delete this sample page, okay? You really don't need this page, so you just check it, or you actually don't need to check it. You just need to press trash so you can delete it. So I'm going once again to posts, and as I said previously, posts is really, you could say it's really your meat and potatoes, or even more delicious, your chocolate cake from your website, because it's really all of your main content. It's where you will offer how to do this and tips about your niche and so on. Just don't do like I did in the beginning when I had my first website. The thing I did was instead of doing posts, I had like 100 pages because I just didn't knew back then the difference between pages and posts. And someday someone looked at my WordPress dashboard and started laughing and asked me why I had so many pages. Fortunately, I found a plugin which allowed me to pass my pages to posts, because one of the reasons why you want posts is because you can use this option called categories, which I'm going to explain. But let's just first delete this hello world because I don't need this option, this post, and I'm going to create a new post. So the options that you can see are pretty identical to the ones that you saw on Pages. You have exactly the same options over here. And let's say this is delicious milk watering. So I'm going to add some fake content over here. I'm going to add, you can add an image if you want. Once again, same option. But what I'm going to do is, where you see feature image, you want to select this link set feature image. I'm going to show to you exactly what this does. I'm going to get an image from my computer, and I think it's this one, past the dish, and you can once again have some information over here if you want. And now I have a featured image, and I'm just going to, you can do a preview, save as draft. Also, you have some options over here. Actually, you have this option, publish immediately. You also have this in Pages. But once you press edit, you can set the day and actually the time where you want this post to publish. Let's say that you create a post today and you just want to publish it next week at a specific time. You can do that by using this option, by setting the time, the hour, and so on, that this post will be published. So I'm just going to press publish. Actually, cancel this. Publish. And let's go back to the main page. And as you can see, I have this small image appearing. The reason why I have this image appearing is because I set has a featured image, and that's the reason why you want to use this option, so you can have a nice looking image appearing on your blog section. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just a couple of posts, but I'm not going to bore you with me writing those posts. I'm going to do this really quickly, and just in a second, that's how fast I am, just in a second I will be back with all of the posts that I need for this website. So now I'm back, and you can see that below I already have more posts on my website. This is the blog section, and the blog section basically works. This is the most recent post which I published, and the last post is the oldest one. So that's how the blog section in WordPress works. Now the reason and the main reason why you want to use posts is because the categories. Categories is a great way for you to organize your website posts by topics. It gives you more focus, and also it helps your visitors who go to your website to find all of the posts belonging to a specific topic which they like reading about. So that's the reason why you want to use categories. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard, and you can see that I'm at the moment in all posts. And once you go to all posts, and over one of the titles, you can see that you have the edit link, which allows you to edit the post once again. You also have a quick edit, which allows you to configure some of the options inside of your post. And you can put it in trash or delete it if you want, or even view your post. But let's talk about categories. So once I go to post, you can see that you have this section called categories, which you want to click on. And categories it's really up to you the way that you decide to organize your content, and even the way that I'm going to show to you the categories that I'm going to use for this blog. It doesn't mean that it's 100% correct, but I'm just going to show to you how you can use it. So I'm going to do a category for pasta dishes. The slug is the extension that appears on the URL for your category page. It's not that important. And below you want to put a description. This description is just for you. And it's important to notice that the category page, it's something that really depends on the theme that you're using. In this theme that I'm using, it's quite different, and I will show to you. So the description, it's really up to you. It's just so you can have an idea of what exactly is this category about. Okay, so I'm going to do for pasta, I'm going to do for fish dishes, and I'm going to do this really quickly. And desserts. And let me see, I think it's for soups. Soup. And why would you want to use a parent? Okay, so let's say that in desserts you have a topic related to desserts, and inside of desserts you have different types of subtopics. You have different types of desserts. You have cakes, you have puddings, you have different types of desserts. So that would be a subcategory. So what you would do is you would put, for example, cake, and you would choose desserts as your main category. And you can see that what happens is this cake subcategory will appear below my desserts because desserts is my main category. It's my main topic. I'm going to delete this. I'm not going to use it. So now I have several categories for my posts. And as I said, this is really up to you, the way that you decide to organize your posts. But it's always a good habit for you to start doing this from the very beginning, because this will help you have more focus on the content that you need to write for your website. So let's go back to all posts and let's organize over here the content that I have. So you can use the quick edit option. And once you do that, you can see that over here you have categories. At the moment, this is in categorize. And categorize is the option that I really use, and the only reason you want to use in categorize is when you write a post that doesn't belong to any kind of topic which you have inside of your website. So this is soup. I'm just going to select that option. This is pasta, so I'm going to uncheck and categorize, and I'm going to check pasta dishes. I'm going to do the same thing for the one below. In this case, this is fish. This is a dessert. And this last one, actually this last one, I'm going to press edit. And once I press edit, you can see that I have a categories section over here inside of my post. And you can also create a new category over here by clicking on this link if you want. This is a pasta dish. I'm just going to press update. So now let's go to the blog section. And let's say I'm actually going to choose pasta because I have two posts belonging to this category. What happens is when I choose pasta, you can see that below I have another relevant post related to pasta. And this helps people if they like this, they like to read this post. It helps them more easily find other relevant content to this post. So another content related to pasta. And it's very probably they will want to read it. So that's how you can use categories. Now let's talk about menu. As you can see at the moment, I have this menu. And this is, you're probably wondering why you would want to create a custom menu, because that's exactly what I'm going to explain to you. The reason is this menu that you see over here is automatically created by WordPress. That means that you have no control on the links on the pages which appear on your menu. So you always want to create a custom menu for your website. For that, you need to go to your WordPress dashboard and you go to appearance, and you can see that you have this section called menus, which you want to click on. When you come to the menu page, the first thing that you want to do is create a new menu. So you just need to click on this link over here, create new menu. The first thing that you want to do is give your new menu a title or a name. So header menu, and press create menu. Now basically what you need to do is just put the fields which you want appearing on your navigation menu. So you can see that on the left side you have the pages which you created, but if you want to see the posts, you just click on that small arrow and you can see all of the posts that you have recently created. You can also click on the view all links so you can see every single post, or even press search so you can search for a specific post that you have on your website. You can also create a custom link, which I'm going to do briefly, and also put the categories that you want appearing on your navigation menu. If you have one of these fields over here not appearing, what you do is you go to the top section and you click on screen options. Once you click on screen options, you can see boxes, and under boxes you can see several sections appearing, and you want to check the one which you cannot see below. So once I click on tags, you can see that immediately appears this tag section over here. And actually the tags I'm not going to use, but I'm going to start adding some pages. Let's say contact me and about, and I'm going to add this to the menu. And basically the way that this works is you can drag and drop things around and organize your links inside of your menu the way that you want this way. You can also change the title, which will appear later on on the menu. So let's just call this one contact and just leave it this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the categories which I've created previously, which is most used, pasta dishes, desserts, soup, and fish. And I'm just going to organize everything the way that I want. Let's say desserts in the end. Soup can be first, something like this. And I'm going to change the titles a bit, just like this. And pasta, I'm just going to leave pasta. And desserts. Okay. Now once you have the navigation bar the way that you want, what you want to do is theme locations. You want to select a section where it will appear on your website. In this case you really don't have many options besides this one, which is header navigation, but with different themes many times you can put on the footer section of your website and so on. Also this first box, you really don't want to check it. This means that each time you create a new page it will automatically appear on your navigation bar, and that's something that you really don't want to happen. So just press save menu, refresh your website, and you can see that now I have over here the menu the way that I want. And when someone clicks on fish, they can see they go to the category page, as you can see. And what you want to do is you can see that on the top on the main menu I don't have any link, so someone can actually go to my home page. So what you need to do is you get to custom link. First you give a link test, okay? You give a title to your link. And now what you do is you simply grab the URL from your website, you copy it, and you just paste it over here, just like that, and you add to menu. And commonly I like to put this one first, and just press save menu, refresh the website, and you can see that now when someone clicks on home, they're taken to my front page. Same thing with about, contact, desserts. And this is as you can see, it's not that impressive at the moment because I just have one post, but you can see that this really has a good appearance when it comes to the category page. And the more dishes I have, the more images I will have, and people, this is really a good theme for if you have a website with good images, where you will have good images. So people will actually be able to see the images from the dishes, and once they click on this small plus, they are taken to the post and they can read it. Okay, so let's get to the home. So that's how you can create a menu, and as you can see, when you create a custom menu, it's the only way that you can actually pretty much manage and set the links the way that you want on your navigation bar. Now what we are going to do lastly is to change this widget section just a bit. So I'm going to explain more in detail. I already mentioned a bit previously, but now I'm going to explain more in detail. And actually we already have a tab open with the widget section over here, but if you don't have that tab open, what you need to do is you go to appearance and you click on widget. Okay, on this section you can pretty much customize the sidebar section of your website the way that you want. You have your right sidebar in this case, and also you can add some widgets to your footer section, which is this section right below. You can also do that if you want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to delete some of the sections I have over here because they are quite useless and I don't need them. So I'm just going to grab the ones which I don't want. In this case it's categories. So you just click on this arrow and you press delete. Same thing for meta, archives, and if you want you can leave recent comments if you like your comments appearing over here on the sidebar. I like to leave the search box, and also actually deleted this option. So for you to add a widget, you need to simply click on it and you just drag it and drop over here on the top section, just like this. And I'm actually going to delete the comment section because I don't want to have that. Also, you can see that you have several different widgets which you can add to your right sidebar. You can also add a test section if you want to write some content, just like this. You can add this section and write hi there. Okay, something like that. And once you have exactly what you want, you just need to refresh your website and you can see the changes in your website. Just like this. For example, if you want in the test section, I actually forgot, in the test section, let's say that you want to put an image from yourself. And this is something that actually supports, it supports HTML coding, this test section. So for you to do that, what you do is, you go to your posts and you select Add New. Actually, I'm going to open in a new tab. Now what you do is, you write what you want, hi there. And now you have the image over here. The image that you want. Let's say this one. And you insert into post. And I'm actually going to decrease the size a bit so it can look smaller. Just like this. And now what you're at the moment in the visual section. This means you can see how it looks visually. But you want to go to the test section so you can grab this coding, the HTML coding for this. Okay? And now you just grab this, just select everything, copy it, go back to your widget section, go to your test section, and over here you just delete everything and you just paste this coding. Press save changes, and once you do that you can see that once I refresh my website I have an image over here, and you can talk a little about yourself and so on. So that's an easy way for you to add, if you don't know HTML coding, that's an easy way for you to add an image and write some text and probably talk about yourself or something like that. So I'm just going to organize this thing a bit. Let's put this one over here on the top. And let's try the search on the top, or actually the buttons, and just leave it this way. Okay, this is, if you want to leave your website this way, working as a blog, you have over here a nice image on your header, and you have your logo, your navigation bar, and this is a normal blog. You have your blog section over here. You really don't need to do much more than this. Now the good thing about this theme, the Automizer, is you have some special widgets that come with this theme. That means that you can basically transform your website into a, I would say, a more modern look for your website. So what you can do is, you have this section called Frontpage Widget, and you can see that you have some widgets which belong to Automizer. You can see that over here it says Automizer About Section Widget. This belongs to Automizer. All of these widgets. What you can do is, I'm going to put the post widget. I'm going to put this one. You can also change the title. Let's say post widget. Let's call it Delicious Recipes. And you can put a subtitle appearing right below from your title. And also you have two layouts, but I already tested the other layout, and the one that seems to look better is the first one, so I'm just going to leave this one. And also you can choose posts, pages, and the product if you have products, but in this case I'm just going to keep it as posts. You can also choose the number of posts which you want appearing on this widget. And once you have everything done, you can also change the background color. Also you can change the color for the title of this widget. But I'm just going to save changes and show to you the difference. So as you can see, this looks really amazing, and it's something that you can do. And you can see that it disappears the right sidebar, and you only get this section, which allows people to see the images and select what they want to see. This is really ideal. This format is really ideal if you have, as I said previously, a website where you have high quality images. Let's just try another one. Let's say this About widget. And then this About widget, actually you can actually choose a different title divider. Let's just go to the website. This thing over here, this small bar you can see, you can actually change this. Let's put a star over here. Just close this section. And now let's go to the About me. Actually, I'm going to delete this section and just put a heading. Just like this. Now what you want to do is, as you can see on content, you want to edit content. And once you press that button, you can see that it's pretty similar to what you saw previously on posts, and you can write whatever you want over here. What I'm going to do is, I'm just going to the post which I've done previously, this one, and I'm just going to copy this over here. Go back to the widget, to this section. I'm going to select the test section because I need to use this section, the test section, so I can insert coding and just paste the coding which you saw previously. So I get this. I'm going to save and close. Going back to my website, refresh it, and you can see that now I have About Me. And as you can see, this is a great way for you to get a more modern look to your website. You can use this special widgets which come with Atomizer, so you can get this fantastic look on your website. You also have other ones, but for now I'm just going to keep it with these two different widgets. As you can see, so that's basically how you can do a website in 2016 which looks modern. And I would like to congratulate you because you got to the end of this video, which was quite massive, and I'm pretty certain you learned a lot in this video. And that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you want to receive more videos from Pro Site Tutorials, just subscribe, also like and share this video. I offer in a weekly basis video related to how to develop WordPress websites, how to do search engine optimization, make money online, and much more. So please subscribe so you can receive more videos. That is all for this video. Stay tuned with Pro Site Tutorials, and bye.